If you're in your 40s and trying to get pregnant, you've probably already heard it all. Your AMH, your egg quality, your age. And yes, those things matter. But what most of that advice misses is you. You are not a walking diagnosis. You're a whole woman with a story, with emotions, with a body that remembers everything you've been through. Over the last 25 years, I've seen something over and over again. It's not just about numbers. It's about creating an internal environment, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that your body and your baby can feel safe inside. And that changes everything. Hi, I'm Julie Zhenning, and for the last 25 years, I've supported women who were told their chances of becoming a mother were slim to none. And I've learned something really important. It's not always the women with the best numbers who conceive. It's the women who create space for their bodies, their hearts, and their spirit to come into alignment. So in this video, I'll walk you through what's helpful to know medically, but I'm also going to go deeper because conception doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens inside a woman who feels safe, supported, and connected to something greater than fear and doubt. And if what I'm saying already resonates, I've created a free resource for you, the 40 Plus Heart Womb Fertility Checklist. I'll tell you more about it later in this video, but it's yours if it feels right. So let's start with the basics. Fertility does change as we age. Egg reserve declines. Chromosomal risks increase. That's part of the biology. When you visit a fertility doctor, they'll usually run a series of standard tests. AMH to check your egg reserve, FSH and LH to see how your brain and ovaries are communicating, thyroid function, which plays a key role in healthy cycles, an ultrasound, and sometimes an HSG to check your uterus and fallopian tubes, and often a semen analysis for your partner. These are all helpful. They give you information, a snapshot of your reproductive system in a moment of time. But what they don't show is the internal landscape you live in every day, the quality of your thoughts, the pressure you're holding, the beliefs you carry about your body, and the subtle ways your nervous system is reading your life, safe or not safe. That internal environment is influencing your fertility just as much as your lab numbers, sometimes even more. Here's something I really want you to hear. Your body listens to everything. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your memories. When you're in a chronic state of stress, whether it's obvious or subtle, your body produces more cortisol. When your nervous system is in that constant state of high alert, it sends a message, this isn't a safe time for life to grow. And your reproductive system responds accordingly. Your ovaries, your uterus, your hormones, none of them operate in isolation. They're deeply connected to your nervous system, your immune system, your endocrine system. Everything is listening. Everything is responding. This doesn't mean you're to blame. This isn't about thinking positive or manifesting perfectly. It is about recognizing that the environment you live in, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, is either inviting life in or bracing against it. I want to share a few examples because I know you'll probably recognize yourself in one of them, at least. One woman came to me with unexplained infertility. Her test results looked fine, but she was living in a constant loop, tracking apps, testing daily, feeling like her whole life was on hold until that next positive. Her nervous system was stuck in fight or flight. Her womb never got the signal that it was safe to open. Another woman was told her AMH was low. She took that number as a sentence. She stopped trusting her body. She stopped dreaming. Her energy collapsed inward. And what her body heard was, we're not doing this. It's not safe to hope. And another woman was carrying shame. I should have started sooner. I focused on my career. I waited too long. That shame tightened her body. It closed her heart. And it told her womb, it's too late. We missed it. Do you see the pattern here? These aren't just thoughts floating around. They're biochemical signals. They're emotional imprints that shape the field your body lives in. They tell your womb whether she can open or whether she needs to stay closed to protect you. And in every one of those stories, the shift didn't happen because of a new protocol. It happened when the woman began relating to herself differently, when she softened, when she chose trust over control, when she stopped trying to fix herself and started listening more deeply. That's where the opening began. And the truth is, you do have influence here. You can't control your AMH. You can't micromanage divine timing, but you can change the space you live in, the space your body would land in. That space is your inner home, your womb, your heart, your nervous system, your emotional field. And when that space feels soft, trusting, steady, life can feel safe entering in. I know this might be resonating deeply for you right now. And if it is, I want to offer you something that brings this into your everyday life, not just your mind. I created something called the 40 Plus Heart Womb Fertility Checklist. It's not another to-do list. It's a gentle guide that helps you shift the energy in your body, your home, your thoughts, so your womb can begin to feel supported, nourished, and safe again. It covers the physical support your body needs, but also the emotional and spiritual pieces we've been talking about. Things like how to regulate your nervous system gently, how to reconnect with your spirit baby, how to create an inner environment that says, I'm ready, you're safe here. If you're craving that kind of grounded guidance, I'll tell you where to get it at the end of this video. So, how do you begin to create a more supportive inner environment for conception? Not by forcing yourself to be more positive, not by trying to control every variable, but by slowly, gently shifting how you relate to your body, your thoughts, and your emotions. So I'll give you 4 powerful places to begin. The first is regulate your nervous system so your womb feels safe. Your reproductive system works best when your body feels safe, not a fake relaxed, but genuinely at ease. And that might look like prioritizing deep, consistent sleep, gentle movement like walking, yoga, or slow stretching, breath work or stillness with one hand on your heart and one on your womb. These practices send your whole system a message. It's okay to soften now, and softening is what opens the womb. Another place to begin is to shift the inner dialogue from fear to collaboration. When you wake up every morning thinking, I'm running out of time, or my body's failing me, those thoughts don't just stay in your head. They ripple through your nervous system and your cells. This isn't about thinking positively. It's about creating safety through language. So try instead of, I'm too old, replace that with, I've lived enough to be ready. Instead of, my body is broken, replace that with, my body is asking for support. Gentle, honest, supportive. That's what shifts your chemistry. Another way to shift how you relate to your body is by working with emotional patterns, not against them. Perfectionism, fear of loss, guilt for waiting too long, these patterns don't just live in your thoughts, they live in your tissues, in your cells, in your body. They can show up as tightness in your belly, tension in your jaw, hormonal shifts. Working with them softly through journaling, somatic work, coaching, or therapy opens space. Not to fix yourself, but to free yourself from patterns that don't belong in this new chapter. And finally, a 4th place to begin is to rebuild trust with your body, one moment at a time. Your body isn't against you. Even when it feels like she's not cooperating, she's communicating. She's asking for your presence, for your listening, for your willingness to shift from fighting her to partnering with her. That shift from battle to collaboration can change everything. Your womb doesn't want to be overpowered. She wants to be trusted. So what does this whole person approach look like in real life? It means you might still do the medical testing and also work with a coach or therapist to address the anxiety underneath. You might take your supplements and prenatals And also commit to daily meditation, journaling, or nervous system support. You might track your ovulation and also explore the deeper grief or shame that's keeping your body in high alert. And if you choose IVF, you get to walk into that process prepared, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Instead of pinning everything on technology, you create the most receptive environment possible for the embryo, yes, but also for you, for your heart, for your body, for your breath. Here's what I want you to really know. You have more influence over your fertility than most doctors will ever realize or acknowledge, and less control than the wellness world sometimes promises. You can't force an egg to fertilize. You can't will an embryo to implant. And no amount of positive thinking can bypass something like blocked tubes. But what you can influence is the environment your body lives in. You can regulate your stress in a way your nervous system actually feels. You can shift the thoughts that keep your womb in lockdown. You can work with the emotions that create real hormonal and cellular responses. And maybe most important of all, you can stop seeing this journey as something happening to you and start relating to it as something you're walking with, not controlling, but collaborating, not forcing, but honoring. Your age is not just a number, and it's certainly not your enemy. The wisdom you have earned, the resilience you have built, the self-awareness you now carry, these are not liabilities. These are the very qualities your future child may be waiting for because you have learned how to nurture something just as sacred, and that is yourself. If this whole person approach resonates with you, I've created a free guide called the 40 Plus Heart Womb Fertility Checklist. It weaves together the physical, emotional, and energetic pieces we have touched on, from nervous system regulation to thought patterns to the subtle shifts that create more safety inside your body. You'll find the link below this video. It's simple, clear, and designed to support you gently wherever you are right now. Because your fertility journey isn't just about your ovaries or your partner's sperm. It's about the environment within you, the space where new life could choose to arrive. And you have more influence over that space than you've likely been told, not by trying harder, but by softening into trust, returning to your body, and remembering that your womb was never separate from your wisdom.